this. Really good. One thing I will say that is excellent in this game has been the music. But that's to be expected from Sakuraba. Sakuraba-san, sorry, I don't know him personally. The proprieties must be maintained. You can tell me if you want. Well, I mean, if it's a if it's a story detail, don't like tell me the story reason for it. Do we like if we just get them? That's just cool to know. But like, don't spoil the story part of it. Can't get out of this. It's not a good for.
I don't even know the word defeat.
How to get mass? It's not. You're gonna for max bond. Another mystic art, you mean? Like we have to actually go sit at the campfire and get like max out our relationship status.
It's time to finish this. Die! Consuming wildfire. I'll heal you all. Dance in the wind. Air healing circle.
Hey, thanks, lover. Oh, okay. Interesting. So there is a reason for us to sit at the campfire and listen to them talk about the same shit over and over. Well, that's kind of lame. See, like, my whole point is, like, you're right. They do give us their character traits through the skits and the campfire chats, but, like, I want that to feel more organic throughout, like, the game and through gameplay and stuff. Like, that's what I wish, is that I'm not here, like, constantly reading and watching skits to learn more about my characters. Like, I feel like it should be a natural process of me playing the game. That's sort of why I'm kind of bummed. But it works for some people, so. Ow! Knock this dude down.
As if the normal creepy crawlies aren't disgusting enough.
Oh. So it's like a giant AoE at once heal. It's not even a hot. That's kind of insane. It's always been a hot to like offset how good it was. Now that shit, they don't care. And a title? Okay, that's good to know. Like, I wonder if certain story beats have to happen before you can get to know them more, or... Cost 80 CP, that's the balance? I mean, I guess. It technically is more than 10%, but, like, the odds of us needing it that many times should be low enough. If you have those CP reduction costs on it, too.
I'll stop its charge. Thanks, Isara. That'll bring you down. Heal my wearied companion.
Time to let it rip. Demon Pack! Double Demon Pack!
I'll face yours. I'm out of ammo.
Double Demon Pack! Coming through! Ha!
Long cast Hulu, yeah, it's very good.
Scarlet Inferno!
Here,
Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis!
But she just does everything. Big heals.
Hey, look at that enemy.
Yeah, I see that.
I have
Orange. Orange gel. I was gonna take one of these.
Bad feeling about this.
3, 4.
In a bind?
Never mind. He moved out of it, so that was a waste of time.
Can you take it?
Let the bodies hit the floor.
Soaring blast! You picked the wrong fight! Can you take it?
4, 5, 6.
Light burst force!
By the way, if you didn't know, you can choose heal targets while casting. Yeah, I did know that. By holding left bumper, yeah. I figured it out, like, whenever I first started, like, healing.
Can you take it? You're mine! Here I come! No further!
Get down!
Begin! Take this!
Now! This one's got your name on it!
Action to action!
Stay away from my garden.
I've been doing really great lately.
Well, that's good. Okay, we're all 46. I was like, what the fuck? How do you target? I was used to the old way. Yeah. At first, I thought it was just solely based on, like, because it's like smart cast. Like, it'll just automatically target the person with the lowest HP. And I was like, okay, so I just gotta kind of
When did it get pitch dark all of a
wait
The
for
lights are
somebody
all
to be
out.
lower than somebody else.
Think it has something to do with the explosion back in the Forbidden Zone? Doe?
Oh, here we go.
sudden? You two. Faria, Avakir.
Avakir told me what
goodness you're
happened,
safe.
and now I'm ready to forgive you after 7 years of resentment.
Avakir filled me in about everything. About how I ambushed you all.
Oh, right.
She doesn't remember a thing.
Hey, look, in this cutscene, she
So
has the
really
armor
was
on.
being controlled.
I guess it's only in the Forbidden Zone.
He told me about Tarnigan too. Is it true?
What difference does it make?
She has very pretty
What's done is
lips.
done.
She's the only person.
Just for once.
Faria, not now.
She's the only person who
It can
wears
wait.
lipstick, or her lips just look different than everybody
Lenegis is
else's.
in grave peril.
So I can see.
It's the city's core
Quite
reactor.
noticeable.
It's damaged. Some of the basic systems we've managed to keep online, but complete restoration still.
We're
a way
like the
off.
Draenei, dude. It's time for us to
You're
go
an
back
elite
home to our
technician, though.
planet.
You can fix it, right?
If
Earlier,
so,
you were
then
talking
what's
about
the
natural
problem?
conversation. I feel like the bonding with Dohalim
Panic's
is the
begun
most
to set in
natural.
among the citizens. Until now, whenever something like this happened, the Sovereign would issue a
Kind
decree.
of. Like, he's the only one who actually,
this
like,
time, not so much as a
talks.
Any longer,
just
and
about
we'll run the risk
stuff.
of riots breaking out before we can get things back up and running.
Like, it's hard to explain, like, how I wish
Forget
things
the
were.
Sovereign.
Like,
I doubt you'll be hearing
skits
from
and
him
stuff like
anytime
that should
soon.
be stuff to, like,
What's that supposed to mean?
support the
Do you
main
know
elements
something
that
I
are already
don't?
there.
Suffice
It
to
shouldn't be the
say,
only way that I
Sovereign
get
isn't the
character
kind of ruler
development
we
because,
thought he
like,
was.
it's very dry.
That
Yeah, it's
is, if he
appropriate
ever
for
even
being at a
existed,
campfire.
which
Yes,
is looking
yes.
doubtful at this stage.
I see what you're saying. I see what
Are
you
you out of your mind?
mean by that.
Why, if people knew that a lord such as yourself was whispering such blasphemy, they'd...
There's no time to explain now. It sounds like we need to find a way to keep Lenegis from spiraling out of
I
control.
am your sovereign, and by law
to
of
stop
Rena,
that
you have to
riot.
do what I tell you.
But how do we do that?
Riots feed on discontent and unrest, right? So if we want to keep the peace, we just need to put people's minds at ease.
At ease. Like by letting them hear directly from someone they trust.
Like the
That's it.
sovereign?
Who's the highest ranking person in Lenegis right now?
You.
Lenegis wouldn't have a next in line. After all, you said the Sovereign rules over everyone directly.
It would actually be you. Did you not pay
Correct.
attention to the story this whole time?
Closest thing to an authority figure would be a lord. And the only one left is...
Oh, right, of course, it's
Very
Dohalim.
well then.
Even though the sovereign's right there, but they'd never believe that shit.
Avakir, you mentioned a few facilities were still online. Which ones?
Why, it's you, sovereign.
Why hasn't the Sovereign said anything?
Please, Won't somebody explain what's going on?
Is it over? What's going to happen to all of us?
I can't breathe. I'm having a panic attack.
Now, fellow remnants of Lenegis.
Hey, put your farmer's outfit back on.
Kill Karis of Eldermen and Sia.
Look up there. It's Lord Dohalim.
Hold on. He should be in the crown contest. Shouldn't he? Why isn't the Sovereign talking to us?
Answer me.
The Sovereign is seeing to other matters right now. In my capacity as Lord, I speak to you in his stead. You're afraid. As people so often are when faced with the unknown.
Dohalim's my favorite character, probably then Shion and then Alphen, because every time he talks he reminds me of Genichiro from Sekiro.
However, we have our top
Come on,
engineers
Junichiro.
into the matter, and things will soon be back to normal. I know that you feel abandoned, perhaps more scared and alone than ever before. But I ask you all to keep one thing in mind. You are Lenegis, not the lords and sovereign. The solidarity of its citizens is the mortar that holds it together. If we don't allow ourselves to be distracted by our differences, if we put our hearts and minds together and stand as one, I am confident we will find new hope.
Hearts and minds, that's not something a Renin Lord would say.
Not as a person of loftier rank, but as another human being among men. I hope that you'll lend me your strength.
Alphen VA is a good VA in my opinion. Yeah, he's good.
I know. A bright tomorrow awaits.
The voice acting in this game isn't bad. Oh, thank God, the power came on just as I delivered my message. What are the odds? They sent a team out to work on it. It just finished right now.
Your speech seems to have done the trick. Looks like the city won't be descending into chaos after all.
Yeah, so far
I
the
only
voice
pray
acting for
relief
the whole
will tide
game
the
is
city
pretty
over for
good.
the time being.
Like I said, if I had to pick weak
What you said
ones, maybe
earlier
Kisara and
about the Sovereign
Rinwell.
possibly not even existing.
But they're also
Is it
passive.
true?
So his voice can be real deep too,
It's
and it sounds
still
natural
too
when he does
premature
it.
to
It
say
doesn't
with any
sound like he's
certainty.
trying to lower his voice.
But I believe so.
Yeah, he does have a deep voice for sure.
This whole time, this world we've been fed was a lie. Built on nothing but falsehoods.
But it can't all have been.
I can believe it. After everything I saw in the Forbidden Zone,
She's also
what
like
they
the
did to
bustiest
Tharian,
lady we've seen so
it's the
far,
only
not to be
explanation that makes
perverse.
sense.
But what about hierarchy?
But you
over
definitely
here?
notice such
Authority,
things.
The very foundations of
Well, I
Renin
do.
society.
It's just natural human.
How can we live without someone to guide us?
Sexuality, man.
I'd say we found someone capable of doing just that, wouldn't you?
You? You can't be serious.
I have business I must take care of first. But once everything is over, I shall return. But not as your sovereign, nor as a leader the likes of which the people here are used to, I think.
But how else do you propose to rule?
Hmm.
I'm not sure yet. All I
In
have is a
Sekiro,
feeling
he can sound real
that here in
deep, especially
Lenegis,
when you fight
a
him.
new dawn is on the verge of breaking. One in
Next
which
time that
people
game
won't be
goes on
judged
sale,
by
I might
birthright
consider purchasing
or on the
it.
power of their astral arts, but on other things. More important things. Things like, oh, I don't know, musical talent, for example.
When I bumped into you after all those years, I said you were no different. But I was wrong. Truth is, you were always different. I feel like maybe now I can finally begin to accept Tarnigan's death. To see a future.
After 7 years, huh? It's quite a long time to hold on to that resentment.
You go finish whatever it is you've got to do.
Because I'm attracted
I'll
to
hold
you
down
now,
the fort here in
Dohalim, because
Lenegis
you were
till you
clearly
get
the
back.
better one.
Thank you.
It's very, very difficult. It can be very
I
frustrating,
guess
more
you're not
so
going to
than
make
Dark
it to Men and
Souls,
Sia
so
for the
be prepared.
foreseeable future, huh?
I mean, people say that. Like, yeah, I'm sure it's frustrating.
Forgive me.
But the whole point of those games is you just play them a lot.
The people of Eldermen
Like
and
that's
Sia
the whole
can look
point.
after
They're
themselves
old.
just
They're
fine.
designed to be
It's the
old school
ones here on
games, like from the
Lenegis who need
Nintendo
someone to
era.
guide them.
Like they were hard, and you just had to
Besides,
play them a
with
lot.
you leading the people here, it'll help spread the idea
But like,
of
yeah, I'm sure I'd rage and
coexistence
shit.
beyond
But
Men and
like,
Sia's borders that much faster.
be prepared. Just very. It
Sounds
just
like
seems
you're
very
in for the
dramatic to
long
me.
haul. How could I not be? After the second chance that
Like,
I've
I'm
been
not saying it's a
granted.
hard game. I'm just saying that it's
From
hard
this
because
day
you have to
forth,
play it a lot and it
I
doesn't
shall
hold your
dedicate
hand.
myself to the future inhabitants of this world. Though the memories of the departed shall remain forever in my heart.
Be
Remember,
prepared.
you're going to be leading the people here, not ruling them.
True enough. Whatever would I do without you, Kisara?
With or without her, I suspect you're gonna have your hands full when the time comes.
You may good at it. It's
We
somewhat
should be
of a
heading back to
rhythm
the
game.
ship. Business on Rena awaits.
I do like rhythm. Jesus, slave to the rhythm. Jesus, slave to the rhythm of Renin Leader. Ground Dasher. There it is. Nice. Ground Dasher. It's about time I get another spell.
Looks like the people of Lenegis can...
In one sense, when all is said and done, perhaps I have been a slave this whole time too.
You, a Renan Lord? How do you figure that exactly?
I was complicit in the Renin system, bound by its values.
There's always an answer to your
Resigned to being
opponent,
swept
whether
along,
it's parry,
without the
jump,
resolve to
dodge,
take
or
a stand.
counter. Okay.
And when I realized the severity of my mistake, all I longed for was punishment. A lord.
Or
And
attack.
yet my first instinct was to place my fate in the hands of others.
I think I can relate. I couldn't stand watching my people bow and scrape their way through life, but I didn't know what else I could do about it either. The ability to think for yourself and be your own master. That's what separates a slave from a free person. At least, that's what Law's dad Zephyr used to say. Zephyr taught me how to fight. But in doing so, he also taught me how to live.
Did
Even if
he
it means
now?
Stumbling along the way. If it's on a road of our own choosing, free of regret. Why?
That's one game I
That's
think
the road of
Japanese should be
freedom.
default since it
Or,
fits so
to
well.
put it another way,
Yeah, it is
so
one of
long as his
those
heart is compromised,
Japanese
even the
games
loftiest of kings is
involving
no freer than
Japanese
a
either
slave.
history or Japanese
I think
like
I finally
folklore.
understand now. This Zephyr character sounds like he was a wise man indeed. I only wish I could have met him.
There's
Good
just
old Zephyr.
so much I wish I could ask him, especially now. I wonder, have I been correctly carrying on the torch that he passed to me?
What the fuck are you talking about? You don't know him.
How long have you known
Known what?
about the darkness I
Known
carry
about these
inside me?
nuts. Oh
You
my
seem to have been
god.
aware of it for
You
quite
set me
some
up for
time
that
now.
so crazily.
Why ask me now? What does it matter? But yes, I have.
I learned so much from
I've
him in 2
pretty much known that
days.
something was gnawing at you ever since we left Menencia.
God, what a
So
travesty.
basically since the very start of our journey then. Just when I thought I couldn't feel more ashamed.
Leave the past where it belongs. We have no need for it now. You're forging ahead. That's what matters. If my brother could see you, he'd be proud.
Not as proud as he would be of his sister, I'm sure.
Well then, just as well it's not a competition, huh?
Eh.
Kisara? Anyone at home in there?
Sorry. Did I look distracted?
Among other things. To be entirely honest, I couldn't tell whether you were smiling or frowning.
Cause I wonder
You were
if he
thinking about
has
Dopamine,
cut content
weren't
because
you?
he's like a he really is like
Not
a nameless
obvious, huh?
NPC. He's a red shirt.
I was just thinking how good it is to see
Yeah.
him moving forward at
Even
last.
the red woman
was
who
always
has a
so
literal red
infuriating,
shirt has
knowing
more
how
going on
capable he could be
than
if he
Zephyr
just put his
does.
mind to it. A prisoner trapped in a cage of his own self-doubt.
Well,
Now,
she.
He's finally beginning to spread his wings. I'm happy for him.
So, then why do you look so sad?
Oh, I don't know if I'd say sad. There's a bittersweetness to it, I guess. It's good and strange, knowing that he won't be needing me anymore. It probably sounds weird, doesn't it? I have this massive worry off my mind. I should be jumping up and down for joy, right?
Must be that maternal instinct of yours at work. Rinwell's right. You're like a mother bird, finally letting go as her child takes his first shaking and nervous flight from the nest.
A pretty big child.
That's one way to look at it. I wouldn't like to see Dohalim's face if he heard you say that. All this has made me realize I can't allow myself to become a prisoner of my own making like he was. If Dohalim can forge his own path ahead,
I really
then
wonder,
I can
even
too.
that wind chick
I
has
won't be
more
left
to her.
behind.
Yeah, for sure. We knew more about Elmadra's motivations than we did Zephyr's, other than freedom for not for slaves. I've seen a lot in my old age, but even I would have never imagined that it'd be a lord who ended up saving the day for Lenegis. It's going to take time before the residential quarters are repaired, but at least for now the city is calm again. Still, to see him taking charge instead of the sovereign, perhaps he's the winner of the crown contest this time around. No, I'm not, but I appreciate that you're talking about me as I talk to you. Yeah, who knows? I mean, why would they cut content from the beginning of the game? Since that's like the whole thing that sets everything up, but I guess if you have to cut somewhere. How much of Rinwell is cut content? Because aside from knowing that Elmadra murdered her parents, there's really nothing else. And from all the skits, all you ever learn about her is that she's really defensive and childish because, of course she is. She's only like 16 or 17. Same thing with Law. It's like you know that he has like a tiny grasp of justice and that his dad was Zephyr and he's also childish and he likes to eat. And it doesn't really play into the story at all. Dohalim, like his story is more complex. Like he has a little bit more going.